At this point in time, I've created all the tables for the database called Underdog. And I've created a location where I back up this database. The link is here on the left, and you go right into this folder. And this is what the backups look like. At this point in time, I want to create the foreign key restrictions. And here is a list of child-parent relationships. What's in black ink is the names of the tables, and what's in blue is the name of the foreign key, which means that's the name of the column in the child, which refers to the primary key of the parent. And now I'm going to go watch the videos and remind myself of how to do this in PHPMyAdmin, how to establish these relationships as foreign key restrictions. I'm going to show you the second page here in case I lose this sheet or this PDF. This topic is called referential integrity or referential restriction rules. And they determine the sequence of events in your program that you write, like in the PHP. It determines when you can delete rows in the parent and when you can insert or update rows in the child when there is a foreign key in the child for that parent. And the foreign key is always in the child. You have to tell the database what to do if these rules are violated. So first you establish the relationship between the column in the child with the primary key column in the parent, and then you have to tell the database what to do if these rules are violated. For a delete in the parent, your options for actions as consequence to violation are to either just block the delete from happening, or the other option is to put null in the key field of the child. And the third option is to delete the rows from the child that have the foreign key corresponding to the row in the parent that you're deleting. You always set up the constraints in the child table. Both columns must be indexed. The parent obviously already has a primary index on the key column. The child foreign key column needs to get an ordinary index at the very least. The tables have to be using the InnoDB storage engine on MySQL. Now I'm going to actually do some of what we are speaking of. As I had said before, the alpha dogs table, let me get it. It has the column called category of underdog ID. And this column is a foreign key to the parent, which is the table that is called categories of underdog. That has a primary key called category of underdog ID. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get relational view. And I don't need to give it a constraint name. It'll give it a default. And over here, what I do is I pick category of ID because that's our foreign key in the child. And the foreign key constraint is to underdog. That's the database. The table is categories of underdog. And the field is this one, category of underdog ID. Okay? And on delete, I want restrict, and on update, I want restrict. And that's the only column that has a foreign key in the alpha dogs table, which is the child. So I click save. Okay, I was able to do it successfully this time. What I had to do was I had to go to alpha dogs. Let me go there. In structure, I needed to make this column unsigned, because that's the way it is in here. Categories of underdogs. See, it's unsigned. So they both have to be unsigned int 10. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to establish these foreign key restrictions or foreign key constraints on the rest of my foreign keys in Underdog.